All right. Hi, John. How are you today?
I am doing well, Rachel. Thank you.
Good,
How are you?
good, good. Wonderful. Thanks for joining me. And thanks for everybody who's watching. I asked John to join this morning for one of my YouTube videos because he is the expert on term life insurance. I am not an expert and, in fact, don't know as much as I should know. So I'm really excited about this conversation. Um, he's just going to tell us a little bit about like why we should consider term life insurance and what it even means. And John, if you want to introduce yourself real quick and let us all know what you do.
Absolutely. So, once again, Rachel, thanks for having me. So, my name is John.Flowers, and I am with the Consultative Insurance Group. And at Consultative, we have a myriad of areas that we cover in terms of insurance, but term life insurance is certainly one of those. And it's interesting that you brought this up today and now. And I'll just tell you a quick little story. So first, let me just tell you a little bit about term life insurance.
Sure.
So term life insurance is a very affordable way to cover a period of time.
Okay.
And certainly term life insurance is needed because as we know, things happen in life very unexpectedly.
Hmm.
And certainly you need the coverage for you and your family. But the beauty of term life insurance is the cost component.
Okay.
So, term life insurance is certainly not expensive. In fact, it is probably the best way to cover your family for a period of time. Now, with term life insurance, the period of time is generally 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years.
Okay.
So it is a what we call pure protection. So it covers you for financial needs in the event that something happens within those time frames.
Okay.
However, if that term life insurance expires, then you get nothing because the only thing that term life insurance provides is a death benefit. So, an interesting segue to this conversation. I have a nephew who just finished medical school in his fellowship, just got married, and they were looking for a way to sort of cover them for a block of time until he really gets going.
Mm.
So, term life insurance is the perfect vehicle for him and his
Mm.
wife.
Okay.
Why? Well, because right now he is growing in his practice, he's growing in his career, and he doesn't necessarily have the means with all the medical school debt, and his
Mm.
wife has school debt, and now they have a mortgage. So he doesn't necessarily have the means to pay for say, a whole life or a universal life policy right now.
Mm.
So term
Hmm.
life insurance is perfect. Who else would term life insurance be a good fit for? Well, one of I think the best person or people to apply for term life insurance would be newly married people.
Okay.
So again, maybe you just had a baby, so you want to cover, say, a 20-year period. Now, with that baby, we all know that, well, generally speaking, we all want our kids to go to college and we look forward to that event. Well, a 20-year term life insurance policy would cover you in the event that something would happen, obviously, to the breadwinner in the family, or even if something happens to the non-working spouse, because they have a value as well. Now, what I want to talk about next is how much should you get?
Hmm.
A lot of people ask me, how much term life insurance should you get? Well, I generally say 10 times your income.
Okay.
So that could cover you for, obviously, for 10 years. So you're looking at 10 years worth of coverage. Now, I add another
Mm.
component to that. If you have a mortgage, if you have school loan debt, if you have things like that, then I think you should add a little bit more into that. And that is I guess that's a case by case thing. And we would be happy to go over that with you if you were ever to come into our office and sit down with us to discuss it.
Can you just go into a little bit more on like how this cover, like, so you mentioned your, I think your nephew, you said, who just recently graduated and from medical school. I mean, I know like we all think doctors make all this money, so whoop-de-doo, but my goodness, their school loans are intense. And so like how is term life insurance, how, like, why is that good for him? Like he's a healthy young individual, unlikely to pass away in the next 10 years. So like how is that protecting him? Or is that just what it's for? Is just simply if something does happen to him in the next 10 years?
And so again, very, very good question, Rachel, and thanks for asking. So term life insurance is simply pure protection.
Okay.
So in the event that something happens to him, yes, his upside is phenomenal. So he has a phenomenal earning upside to him. However, what if something did happen?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
suddenly he has a wife who, she's not a stay-at-home wife. I mean, she has a career too, but not nearly as economically valued for future than his.
Mm-hmm.
So she has to look at what would happen in the event that something happens to
Mm-hmm.
him. And also, I guess I should add another component is at some point they plan to have children.
Right, right.
So that is another component.
Mm-hmm.
But why it's valuable to him is obviously the cost savings right now.
So let's
Because
talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind. Like,
sure,
let's just say, like, I want to take out term life insurance and I want it to be for 10 years, 10 times my salary or whatever. Like, what does that, is there a percentage? Like, how much is that going to be costing me every month
very,
to
very
have
good
this?
question. So let's say a 20-year-old healthy young man, non-smoker, a $250,000 term life insurance policy could cost $20 a month or
Okay.
less.
Okay. Hmm.
Now, if you compare that to a whole life policy, 250,000 could cost $200 to $300 a month.
Oh, wow.
So as
Okay.
you can see, the difference is significant.
Hmm.
So that's one of the areas that term life insurance is able to accomplish its goal. And again, just the cost savings is amazing. So yeah, very good question. Thanks for asking that. And I also want to add that there are four kinds of, well, there are many kinds of term life insurance policies, but the four that are, I think, are most significant are one is convertible. So if you look into term life insurance, one of the areas you want to look at is convertibility. In other words, before that policy expires, will I be able to convert this potentially to a whole life policy?
Okay. So
So
that
that
was going to be one of my questions. So is that like the goal is to, like, if I get this for 10 years and year 9 is here and I'm still feeling healthy and great, is the goal to just let it run out and do it again for 10 more years, or is there a goal to roll it into a different insurance policy?
very good. Yes, the goal is to obviously let it roll into something else, so you don't feel as though you got nothing for in no
Mm-hmm.
ROI, no
Mm,
return on your investment. So
sure.
what you want to do is obviously roll that into a whole life policy if you can.
Okay.
And the beauty of that is usually you can roll that into a whole life without without resubmitting a medical
Mm,
information or taking any medical blood tests or anything like that. So that's the beauty of that. The other is an increasing term. So increasing term obviously is a term life policy that it runs out and it expires. However, when you go to renew that term, it's going to be exponentially higher than what you were paying, sometimes as
mm.
much as 10 times.
Oh, wow.
So that's something that you want to consider also when you get a term life insurance policy. Another one is a decreasing term life insurance policy. Some people call it mortgage protection. So as you know, your mortgage goes down over time.
Hmm.
So as that mortgage goes down, obviously so does the life insurance. But here's the catch. as that life insurance goes down in value, the premium stays level, stays the same. So you have to be mindful of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's annual renewable. Now, annual renewable, the only benefit to that is that, again, without any medical details, you can renew each year and you can increase the face amount.
Mm.
But if you do that, you have to know that it's going to cost, again, significantly more than what you were paying.
Mm-hmm. So what do you say to folks that say, well, hey, I work, at a big company and they offer me a lot of benefits and they offer me life insurance. So why should I get extra? Like, do I need extra?
Okay, so first of all, with most companies, what they're offering when you work at quote unquote one of these big companies, what they offer more often than not is term life insurance.
Interesting.
So that's sort of a misnomer, and a lot of people say, well, I've got life insurance with my company, and same thing. And what they don't realize, again, is that is term life insurance. And there is nothing wrong with it. Term life insurance is a great vehicle, again, to get you from one place to the next, particularly as you start to earn income and as you grow in your career. And another beautiful thing about term life insurance that I didn't mention is you can stack it. You can get several term life insurance policies.
Right.
So you can have a $300,000 policy, you can get another $500,000 policy, and you can stack it. And obviously that staggers in the years as to when they expire. So if one is a 10-year term, one's a 20 and 30. So as you start to stack those life insurance policies, you can find that the coverage can extend for longer periods of time. And some people do that.
Yeah. Can we just, I hope other people are feeling the same way as me. And I feel a little overwhelmed with sometimes, the life insurance talk and what it all means. So could we, in the last few minutes we have, could we just break it down a little bit? Like, let's just say I call you and I take out a $250,000 10-year, whatever term life insurance. And after 8 years, I pass away. What happens to my husband and my children? Like how does that work? What do they get? What do they not get?
So with the example that you just gave, the $250,000 10-year term life insurance policy, God forbid if something were to happen to you in that 8-year period, your husband and your family would receive that $250,000.
And they
So
would
that
receive it
benefit
all
would be paid. They would receive the entire amount. Yes.
all at once?
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, that would be a great time to come and talk to me, because the last thing we want to do is take $250,000 and go spend it on something.
That's absolutely correct. And if people are smart, if they are wise, they will do just that, because $250,000 is, we can all imagine, is a lot of money to have at one time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to come and see you and figure out ways to make sure you manage that money properly is the best case scenario.
Yeah. Great. Oh my gosh, this was so awesome. Well, I learned a lot, John. I really appreciate this, and hopefully others learn too. And if people have questions, maybe we can loop back around. But I would love to just, if you want to tell everyone sort of a little bit more about where we can find you, if we're interested in possibly taking out some type of an insurance plan, how can we reach you?
Sure. Again, so I am John.Flowers. I'm with Consultative Insurance Group. I am what they call a risk advisor. So I cover a lot of areas of insurance, life insurance being one of them, but I also do business and risk insurance as well. And where I can be found is Consultative Insurance Group. I have an email. My email address is very, very easy. It is john.flowers@relationinsurance.com. So I guess I should say this, Relation is the parent company of Consultative Insurance Group. So I can easily be found there. Our office is right in at Olmsted Falls, Ohio. And so would love to give me a call, and would love to help you out if you have the need.
And do people need to come see you in person, or can people just call or email and do it virtually?
They can call or email. And I do have virtual appointments. In fact, and you know this, Rachel, in these days, you have to be set up for virtual
Yeah.
meetings, right?
Uh-huh. For sure.
Certainly feel free to give me a call or give me shoot me an email. We can set up a virtual meeting and we can go from there. So
Great.
I'd love to chat.
Great, thanks. Yeah, I do all of my sessions virtually as well, so I get it. For those who don't know me, I'm Rachel Dorsey. I'm a financial wellness coach, and I work with couples and individuals on just helping them become more confident and comfortable in their financial decisions. Unfortunately, we are not taught any of this in school, including insurance stuff. And so it's important to have somebody, you can just rely on, an accountability partner to help with that. So if folks are interested in reaching out to me, I can be found at effortlessbudgeting.com and my Instagram and Facebook under Effortless Budgeting. And here on my YouTube page. So hopefully folks are checking it out here, and please watch the rest of the videos. They're also great. And again, John, I just want to say thank you so much. I will type up your email and contact information in the little info as well on the YouTube chat. So it was great to chat with you, and I hope folks learned a little bit about insurance.
Absolutely, Rachel. Thank you so much again for having me. And again, feel free to reach out, anyone who's interested, and would love to talk to you.
Great. Sounds great. Thanks so much. Bye, everyone.